The first thing I heard was a quiet, broken sob echoing through the empty executive hallway. It was almost midnight, and the entire office floor of Harper and Cole Industries should have been silent. The city lights of Chicago shimmered through the tall glass windows, reflecting off polished floors and darkened offices. I had only come back to grab my forgotten laptop charger, but as I passed the glass-walled corner office of the CEO, I saw something that stopped me cold. Inside that office, the most powerful woman in the building, Victoria Harper, was sitting on the floor beside her desk, shoulders trembling as she cried like someone whose entire world had just collapsed. I froze. Because in the 2 years I had worked there, I had never seen Victoria Harper show even a crack in her armor. And the moment she lifted her tear-streaked face and saw me standing in the doorway, everything changed. Before the story continues, take a moment to support the channel. If you believe that kindness, second chances, and unexpected moments can change lives, please like this video, comment where you're watching from, share it with someone who believes in hope, and subscribe for more emotional stories like this. Now, let me tell you how that night completely changed both our lives. My name is Nathan Carter, and 2 years ago I was just another invisible employee in a massive corporate machine. I worked in the data analytics department, long hours, average pay, and zero recognition. Most executives didn't even know I existed, and honestly that was fine with me, except for one person, Victoria Harper. She was the CEO who built the company from a struggling startup into a billion-dollar enterprise. Everyone in the office talked about her with a strange mix of admiration and fear. She was brilliant, ruthless in business, and known for expecting perfection. When she walked through the office, people straightened their posture like soldiers, so seeing her crying on the floor of her own office felt unreal. For a moment I thought about quietly backing away. This was clearly not something an employee should witness, but something stopped me. Maybe it was the way she looked so human, so fragile. I slowly stepped inside. She tried to wipe her face, quickly, but it was obvious she had been crying for a long time. Papers were scattered across her desk, and a photo frame lay face down beside her laptop. I picked it up gently. The picture showed a smiling man with his arm around Victoria, both of them standing on a beach somewhere sunny and peaceful. They looked happy, like the kind of couple you imagine living perfect lives. But the cracked glass over the photo told a different story. Victoria noticed what I was holding and looked away. Her voice, when she finally spoke, was quiet and exhausted. She said she hadn't realized anyone else was still in the building. I apologized and said I was just grabbing something I had forgotten. Normally that would have been the end of it. I would leave, and tomorrow we would both pretend this moment never happened. But as I turned toward the door, she suddenly said something that made me stop in my tracks. Her voice was trembling, but strangely sincere. She said she wanted me to stay. I turned back, confused. For several seconds she simply stared at the floor, as if trying to gather the courage to say something difficult. When she finally spoke again, her words felt almost surreal. She said she wanted me to be her boyfriend. At first I thought I had misunderstood her, because this was Victoria Harper, the most powerful woman in the company, and I was nobody. But she explained everything slowly, painfully. The man in the photo had been her fiancé. They had been together for 6 years. 2 days ago she discovered he had been secretly planning to leave her for someone else, a younger woman who worked at one of their competitor companies. The betrayal had shattered her. But that wasn't the worst part. Tomorrow night, Victoria was supposed to attend a huge corporate gala where investors, partners, and media would all be present. She had spent months organizing the event to announce a major expansion deal, and her ex-fiancé was supposed to attend with her. If she showed up alone now, the rumors would spread instantly. The media loved nothing more than a powerful CEO showing weakness. She said she didn't need a real relationship, she just needed someone kind. Someone she could trust to stand beside her for one night so she wouldn't look broken in front of the world. Then she looked at me with tired eyes and admitted something that shocked me even more. She said she had noticed me long before this night. She said I was the only employee who still held the elevator doors for others, the only one who stayed late to help coworkers without expecting recognition. She said kindness is rare in the corporate world, and tonight she needed kindness more than power. I didn't answer right away. Part of me knew this was a terrible idea. Office politics, rumors, power imbalance, everything about it could go wrong. but another part of me looked at the woman sitting on the floor, completely shattered behind her powerful reputation, and I realized something. Sometimes the strongest people are the loneliest ones, so I said yes. The next evening felt like stepping into another world. The gala was held at a massive ballroom in downtown Chicago. Crystal chandeliers sparkled above hundreds of guests dressed in elegant suits and gowns. Cameras flashed constantly as reporters waited for the arrival of Victoria Harper. And then she walked in. But this time, she wasn't alone. Her hand rested gently on my arm as we stepped onto the red carpet together. For the first time since I had met her, Victoria wasn't wearing the cold corporate mask people were used to. She looked nervous, but also strangely relieved. As the night went on, something unexpected happened. At first, we were just pretending, smiling for photos, making polite conversation, acting like a couple, but slowly the act began to feel real. Victoria laughed, an actual laugh, not the polite professional one employees knew. She told stories about building the company from her tiny apartment 10 years earlier. She talked about the sleepless nights, the failures, the moments she almost gave up. And somewhere between the conversations and the dancing, I realized something surprising. Behind the intimidating CEO was a woman who had sacrificed almost everything for her dreams. Friends, relationships, even happiness. Near the end of the night, we stepped outside onto a balcony overlooking the city skyline. The wind gently moved her hair as she stared at the lights below. She admitted she had expected the evening to feel humiliating and exhausting. Instead, it felt peaceful. For the first time in months, she said she didn't feel alone, and then she said something that caught me completely off guard. She said maybe she hadn't asked me to pretend after all. Maybe she had just needed someone real in her life. If this story is touching your heart so far, please take a moment to like the video, share it with someone who believes in second chances, and subscribe to the channel for more powerful stories like this. And before we reach the ending, I have a special request for you. Comment the word hope below if you believe that even the most broken moments in life can lead to something beautiful. Because what happened next changed everything. 3 months later, my life looked completely different. I still worked at Harper and Coal Industries, but I wasn't invisible anymore. Victoria and I had started spending time together outside the office. At first just dinners, quiet walks, simple conversations away from business. What began as a desperate request slowly grew into something real, something honest. She still ran the company with the same fierce determination, but she also started leaving the office earlier, taking weekends off, laughing more, living again. And as for me, I realized that sometimes life doesn't change through grand plans or perfect timing. Sometimes it changes because you walked down the wrong hallway at midnight and chose kindness when someone needed it most. On a quiet evening 6 months after that night, Victoria took my hand as we stood on the same balcony where everything had begun. The city lights shimmered below us again. But this time, there were no tears, only hope. And in that moment, I understood something powerful. Sometimes the most unexpected relationships begin in the darkest moments of someone's life. And sometimes, all it takes to change a heart is simply choosing to stay when everyone else walks away. If this story moved you, touched your heart, or reminded you that kindness still matters in this world, please like the video, share it with someone who needs hope today, and subscribe for more emotional stories. Because you never know. The next story might remind someone that they are not alone.